record this video for those people who have some of the following symptoms. Let's say they have ear pain or ringing in the ears. They experience chronic dry cough. They have problems chewing or swallowing and swallowing. They have red or tearing eyes, dry eyes, nose or mouth. They have frequent headaches and migraines. Let's say they also have stiff neck, or even worse, they experience when they turn their head or neck, they experience dizziness. They experience shortness of breath, have a painful, weak grasp that sometimes lets go, have a frozen shoulder, often experience a mid-back pain, have intestinal cramps, difficulty evacuating. One day they have diarrhea, next day they're constipated. These are very, very serious symptoms. And if you have 2 or 3 of those, you really have to do something about it, because they pile up and they become like a domino, and the domino effect is ready at any moment to go when, the domino goes down. And we end up with a lot of inflammation, more symptoms, and finally diseases. If we do nothing, absolutely nothing about it, of course, they will pile up. They will become even more serious, deeper into the body, and they will cause a lot of changes in your lifestyle, in your independency, because you will start needing help. And this is quite a burden on family and people we love. So if we do nothing about it, the situation will get worse. This is for sure, because if the body cannot handle one symptom, that means that the immune system is quite overloaded, and the body cannot handle a second symptom that will appear, a third, a fourth, and then it starts getting ill. If we go with medications, this is great. I don't really deny the medications and use the medications. They give you a little bit of break psychologically. They help to alleviate symptoms so you are able to have a good lifestyle. This is great. But what do they do mainly? They mask a problem. And what happens is you're doing something, but you remain the same, because the condition or the disease is just working inside of you, and it becomes worse. Never mind, you don't feel the symptoms. Very often those medications are having an impact on our brain, so that's why we don't feel symptoms. And like, I am for painkillers. In some cases, I've seen people suffer a lot, and the proper painkillers are a solution for them, for their nervous system, just to relax a little bit, so they can have some life, some quality of life, and so on. I don't say that you shouldn't take them, but in the meantime, doctors give medications so you have energy to change your life, to change your lifestyle, to do the things you need to do in order to heal. And they very often forget about that and keep you on medications for years. And they tell you that you can't live without this medication, and you will get worse. Even recently, I had a client, the doctor said, if you don't stick to this medication, you will die, which was absolutely ridiculous, because when I spoke to the naturopathic doctor I'm working with, he was just laughing. It's laughable. But sometimes, in order to establish authority, people try to scare you. I understand it's important to know the reality. It's important to know what follows if you don't do what you have to do. But not to make you do things because you're scared. That will lead to a dead end. So what happens when we act on our symptoms? Let's say you have a painful, weak grasp that sometimes lets go. That's a weakness in your musculature. You get a frozen shoulder, and you get problem dizziness with the neck while you're turning your head on the side. Well, obviously, we have two main problems here: musculature, and we have the nervous system problem, and we should work on it. Doing nothing will become worse. Sometimes the pain shifts in the body, the problem shifts, but it doesn't mean that the problem was solved. Sometimes you feel the pain in the neck, and then or the dizziness, as I said, and then it disappears, but you start getting headaches. And this is something to think about. It's just the pain travels throughout the body. It doesn't mean that you're healed from your neck problem. It means that it went worse. The body is trying to cope with it. The body is trying to shift it here and there, and boom, you get a symptom somewhere else. That's why we need to take action. And of course, if you take action, in a year from now, you will be healed. So look at this chart and look at all the three main possibilities. If you do nothing, your situation will become really worse, and that will lead to eventually dependent life and misery, because it is horrible to rely on people to feed you, to do your groceries for you, to have a support during a walk because you can't walk, while all these problems with our health can be improved the least. Or doing nothing. Okay, I have my pills for different problems I deal with, but you know what? Those pills have side effects, and those side effects accumulate in the part of the body which is the weakest, and they accumulate until they cause some trouble over there. Yesterday, I was watching a doctor talking about Centroid. I very often mention Centroid because a lot of clients are on Centroid. And she was saying the second most common side effect of Centroid is adrenal fatigue. And she was asking, did your doctor do adrenal test for your adrenals? How do they function? Are they at their optimum? Because the medication can cause adrenal fatigue. And I see a lot of problems with this particular medication in terms of cardiovascular circulatory system, as well as people feel constantly tired, constantly blurred, constantly lazy type of feeling and out of energy, because that pill has those horrible side effects. But enormous amount of the population is on it. So that's why doing the lifestyle changes, having a great assessment that will help you to understand how your body works, and which will help you also to make a plan. Nothing can be achieved without a plan. You have to have a vision. Where are you going? What are the steps? And on the way to that goal, those steps to be tailored to your changing body, because this is our body's a constitution of systems that constantly evolve, change. So that's why the approach has to be constantly tailored to your need in order to heal. Think for yourself, and let me know if you have any thoughts about this chart. Thank you very much for watching.
Leave a question or comment and we'll be glad to answer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.